Telling you I started the live. Awesome. Okay. All right. So hopefully they can hear me okay. All right, welcome to our meeting. For those of you who haven't met me yet, if you're a new parent, I'm Vicki Mauser. I'm the gymnastics director. Also going to be running the new building when we move into our new building. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, about any information that we might have going forward for that. I'm pretty excited about this season. We invited the most level ones that we ever have because we had such a good, strong program coming up. I think we've had a lot of really great coaches and a lot of really good kids coming up. So that's a good, strong team. We have a good number of level 2s, good number of level 3s, and we have some level 4s. And I really see the program just building from here and growing from here. So it's pretty exciting to watch. And basically what we're going to go over today is how this all works and what is expected of you and what is expected of your kid and what the season looks like as a whole. So for them. So coaching structure, each level has a head coach, and that head coach is in charge of all the lesson plans. It doesn't mean they necessarily do all the lesson plans. It means they have to make sure that there is a lesson plan and that there is a structure for every level. So we pre-plan everything out, starting backwards, I guess you'd say, from what we expect out of them by the time they go to state meet, and we plan everything backwards that way. And in there, we also plan out up skills and what they need moving forward into the next level so that they're prepared. So that's what the head coach is in charge of for that level, and they oversee, make sure that everything's set up the way it's supposed to be and it's implemented correctly and it flows good. And then there's a lead coach with most of the levels, and lead coaches may have just one event or 2 events or something like that they coach. They most likely will do the lesson plans for those, or they may not, depending on the level and what's going on. And then sometimes we have assistant coaches, and the assistant coaches fill in when we need them. A lot of times they're newer coaches. They're learning because you have to start somewhere to get where you need to be. So that's what our assistant coaches do. They just assist, and they are not in charge of anything other than your children when they're here. So, but that's how our coaching structure works here. Okay, there are lots of different ways to compete gymnastics. You can compete through AAU, you can compete through NGA, you can compete through USAG. There's also other kinds of programs like class competition type stuff and all that. We are not in that right now, but what we're looking at is we compete AAU level 1 and 2. We like the structure of it. We like how everybody has to learn the same routine. And it gives us a good base. They learn all their basics. They learn their shapes and what they need moving forward. And then currently we compete NGA level 3 and up. That's what we're doing this year, which is National Gymnastics Association. And it's last year was the first year they've ever really, I think they might have had some the year before that, but it's really started picking up last year. When we hosted our meet, we actually had kids who came from Tennessee and competed NGA at our meet. So that was fun to watch, and we got to learn a little bit more about it. Our coaches have been diving in and learning more and more about it. And it's a great alternative to USAG, which has a real strict, everybody has to do the same routines, just like in 1 and 2. But once they get up to 3 and 4, you might see where some kids are going to be better at a cartwheel on beam versus a handstand on beam or something like that. And we still train those other skills, but they don't have to compete that way. So we can change up their routines according to that individual child's needs. So that's why we like NGA. NGA is really, really pushing to be involved with collegiate gymnastics. So they do a lot of trainings where they have college coaches there and stuff like that, so that the kids and the coaches are working together to build relationships and so that those coaches that are coaching these lower levels know what the college coaches are looking for. So that's why we're doing that in those levels. We're keeping USAG as just in case we ever want to do USAG. It's been around forever. Y'all probably heard about the whole Larry and Nassar thing that happened with them, and things weren't taken care of the way they were supposed to. And so a lot of people have dropped using USAG. And I don't think that the structure now is necessarily bad or anything like that. People are just kind of stepping back, and it's making them look a little bit harder at what they're doing and how they're doing it. So in the meantime, we're going to do NGA. I think it's a great program, and it's good for our kids. I found some really awesome meets for us to go to with them. So that's where we're at right now. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Anybody? Okay, we're going to keep moving then. Because I'm sure just as much as I don't want to be here all night, you don't want to be here all night. Okay, developmental program roadmap. If they are preteen level 1, it's typically where we start. Sometimes we have like an older level preteen and a younger level preteen, and then we place them according to where they belong in the program. This roadmap is different for every single kid. Everyone is not going to follow the same exact route. It's never happened in any gym ever. It's not how it works. It is an individual sport. We practice as a team. We compete as a team. They learn how to do teamwork and be there for each other, but it is an individual sport. So when you are looking at what their skills are and what they have and what they need and all of that, you have to look at your kid individually and not everybody as a group. So just so you know, and that's how our coaches look at it also. So there's different ways you can go. We do compete Excel, Bronze, Silver, Gold when needed, depending on what kids we have. Do we have kids that need that route right now? Do we have, kids that just need to stay compulsories and move up this way? It just depends. Each year we change it up. Depends on what we have, and we look at everybody and decide, for the betterment of the girls, what we feel like would be best for them.
If you do the Bronze, Silver, Gold, will it still be the NGA?
Probably, yeah. That way we can all go the same. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we did. So last year we did AU Bronze, but USA Silver, because we let the AU Bronze go to the meets with the 1s and 2s, and the USA Silvers went to the meets with the 3, 4, 5s. So it just depends on what kids we have, and a lot of the programs, to be honest, are all very similar. They all have a lot of the same structure, but I like the fact that 3 and 4 has a little bit of, you can change it up. They can have some fun music, and it's not that same boring music over and over and over. Oh, just wait, new level 1s. You're going to love it. 4 hours of the same music. No, actually, it's not the exact same music. But that is how that worked. And right now in the summertime, what we look at, like when we decided if your kid was going to be ready for that level coming up, they have to have 75% of their skills right now. By July, they should, not by July, by the end of September, they should have 100% of their skills to compete that level. And then if they don't, then we may have to reevaluate. But most of the time, they're pretty close to what they do. So, does anybody have any other questions about that?
Are those skills the ones on the checkups?
Those are the skills on the checkups. Yes. Yep. So if you haven't seen the checkups I did, those are posted on Band. If you scroll down, they are posted. The skills that they need for each level are posted on Band so that you know what they need. I could just kept going, but I have something later that I can go into more information about that. So, any questions about how our developmental program roadmap works? Okay. Okay. We're going to talk about competitions, practices, and overview of all of that. Competitive season for AU and NGA are typically in the spring. Our first meet is in January, which this year, and that's on here. And I actually sent you guys that schedule. The 3s and 4s, their first meet will be at the beginning of January. 1s and 2s, their first meet will not be till the end of January. Okay, keep this in mind. Stronger attendance equals stronger success. The more they're here, the better they're going to be. Period. So missed practices make it hard for us. A lot of times we will dive into a specific skill in a practice, and then they'll, come back the next week and 2 kids weren't there, and then we have to revisit that when we could be moving on to something else. So it makes it a little bit harder to teach everybody when they're missing. So definitely attendance is very important. I'm going to go ahead and bring this in right now. When I offer like the clinics and stuff, when we do bar clinics, beam clinics, and stuff like that, it's really good for them because things start to click for them when they do those extra practices. So it's really good to do all of those things. And I specifically, I'm trying to say the right word, specifically made sure that I didn't overdo how long their practices are. Okay, I'm not trying to burn your kid out. So I don't want them here, at 5 and 6 years old, coming 3, 4, 5 times a week. We don't need that. We don't want that. I have seen kids get burnout from that. Unless you truly are trying to look for an Olympic program, then, we don't need to do that. There's no reason for it. You don't want your kid to not like it. But those extra little things every once in a while are really healthy for them and really good. So I think it's better if we add in those extra clinics now and then than to bring them in all the time. But if you don't come to the extra clinics and stuff like that, it kind of defeats the purpose. So, anytime you can get your kid to those extra things, it is really important. So, summer practice, and we just went through a summer, so you guys pretty much already know this, but I have to have it in here. Summer practice is extremely important, and trust me, I get it. Everybody's going to do vacations and stuff like that. That is important. You have to have family time. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you take an entire month off in the summer, your kid is going to be behind everyone else, period. Like, we do a lot of strength training. We do a lot of shaping and how skills are supposed to look in the summertime. So if they miss that, it's really detrimental to what's coming up for that year. Okay. If a gymnast missed practice the week of a competition, she is not allowed to attend competition that week. So I'll have people call me and say, well, we already have a vacation planned or whatever during that time. Well, I'm sorry, but it's not safe for your kid to miss all week long and then just show up at competition. That's not safe for your kid, and so that's just not a good idea. If, let's say, you're going to be back halfway through the week and you want to pay a coach to do a private lesson or, something like that, you can make one of the practices maybe and then do a private lesson to make up the other one. I'm okay with that. I don't want your kid to miss the meet. I want your kid at the meet, but I want everybody to be safe. So we will work with you. The coaches will work with you because we really do want your kid at the meet. We want everybody there. So anytime that happens, we can work with you. Now, if they're sick, and this is what breaks my heart when a kid is really sick and they miss the whole practice, but they really want to go to that meet on Sunday. I'm sorry, no. Like, if you've missed practice, and plus after being sick, your body's gonna be tired. It's gonna be worn out. It's really not good. Okay, moving on. Illnesses and injuries. Okay, let's say they are out for a week and they've been, really sick, or they had to take their, time off after an exposure or something like that. We'll do our best to get them in here to do makeups, but I want to make sure that you know that makeups, we do not have to offer makeups in team. We do not, and most gyms do not offer that. I try to be able to accommodate because I want them to be able to, catch up at least some of what they miss. But remember, number one, they're going to be in a different level when they make up, so they may not still get really what they needed that they got on their own level. But at the same time, I will try to work with you as best I can. As far as an injury goes, there are going to be times when they do things and the doctor says no gymnastics. Okay, that doesn't mean that they still can't come in the gym. Okay, because if it's an upper extremity, like an arm or something, we can still do core and leg work and stuff like that, and we will tailor the workout for your kid. So, like, if we go to bars, they may do, like hollow body conditioning and stuff like that. Or if it's a leg, they might still be able to do bars, and do casts and stuff like that. And we just give them a skill cushion to land on. So, it just depends on the kid and what's going on. But don't just not come to practice and then come back and think that everything's great because your kid just missed all that. And they missed all of the words that we're giving them as far as, shaping lessons and all that kind of stuff. So there is still plenty that they can do and learn when they're injured. So, if you know that your kid is going to miss, please let your coach know. Every once in a while, we'll have like a random thing will be going on, and like the coach shows up and there's like 2 kids here. I'm like, okay, well, we could have probably moved this practice if we would have known that everybody was not going to be here, or something like that. So just make sure your coach knows that they're not coming so that we can. And then also that's a good time to say, hey, they're not going to be here. When can we make up instead or whatever? It's fine. It doesn't really matter. All right, uniform. They need to wear a one-piece leotard. Nothing with their stomach showing. No leotards with skirts because they get in the way on the bars. Hair all up. Okay. We do keep extra hair ties just in case you have missing one or yours breaks, something like that. I get that. But try not to make that a regular thing. Also, a scrunchie is not made to really hold their hair, okay? When we're flipping around, a scrunchie flies right out of their hair. So please do not send a scrunchie to hold their hair up. It must be an actual hair tie. Snacks and drinks. Okay. Level 1, maybe not so much. Definitely send them a refillable water bottle for sure. Because even in the new gym, we will have a refillable water bottle station. In the snack department, probably more like level 2 and up. Level 1s aren't really here long enough to really need much. But if you send a snack, okay, make sure that it is not junk food. If you sugar them up at practice, it's number 1, they're not going to learn as well. And then they may just crash during practice, and then we don't get anything out of them. So make sure it's something that's going to sustain them and not break them down. Don't sit down.
I need to say that to Mason too. Mason's like, I need to bring Oreos. Okay, come here.
No, do not bring Oreos. Yes. Yeah. And no sugary drinks. I prefer water. I prefer just water, just plain old water for practices. But if they really feel like they have to have some flavoring in it, I will tell you that they sell some flavor things at Aldi that don't have. It's all natural flavor, like vegetable flavor and stuff. It doesn't have sucralose or any of those things that are bad for them. in there, I had to research it because my son is ADHD, so there's only certain things I let him put in his water. So there are things out there that you can put in their water to give them flavor that aren't sugary. So okay, make sure that they arrive on time. We do start teaching them a lot of stuff in the warm-up. So when they miss the warm-up, they're missing crucial parts of the practice. No jewelry. They are allowed to wear stud earrings. So that's practice. Does anybody have any questions about practice stuff like that? Okay. All right. This is the meet schedule for this year. Hey guys, can you close that door for me, please? Thanks. It's loud out there. Okay, so see if you can read this. Level 1, it says Winter Jam, Sweet Tea, and House of Angels. Winter Jam is going to be our meet, and it's going to be hosted at our gym at the new facility, which is 40 Curtis Court, in case you wanted to write that down and look it up. So that's going to be hosted at our own gym. Sweet Tea Classic is hosted at Lake Point, so right down the street. Super convenient, but it's a huge meet. There will be lots of teams there. That's pretty cool. It's a fun meet, and they get a leotard at the meet, so that's kind of neat. And House of Angels is our meet also, and it's the first year we've ever hosted this. I'm actually looking at I'm actually looking at where we're going to host this, because this is the first year I have ever had 5 teams have contacted me in the last 2 weeks about coming to this meet, and it's only July. House of Angels. Apparently there's not a lot of meets that weekend, and a lot of AU and NGA teams are looking for somewhere to go. And I'm talking about big teams. Gwinnett called me with 80 kids and elite gymnastics, one from Chattanooga. So, that could be a huge meet. But I don't know yet where I'm going to do it, because if it's going to be that big, I'm not going to hold it in our gym. I've reached out to Daryl Damascus at Carsville High School about hosting there. So, and it's not basketball season, so hopefully I can get that. If not, then we'll look at Georgia Highlands or something else like we used to.
Do you have dates on those?
Yes. So all of these meets, it says weekend of, because we don't know until probably 2 weeks before the exact day if it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Most of them are Saturday, Sunday, but the big ones like Sweet Tea Classic and the Smoky Mountain Gymnastics, which won't affect level 1s, but Sweet Tea Classic could be a Friday, and it could be during school. So just a heads up on that. Weekend of, and then I sent you this in the email.
Okay.
You have this. Okay. Yeah. I sent this part to you right here. Okay. And then level 2s are going to do Grant-A-Wish, which is in Paulding, and it's a pretty big meet. And then they'll do Winter Jam, Smoky Mountain, Big Asian Classic in Sevierville, Sweet Tea, House of Angels, and then states. I don't take level 1s to state meet because it's more like a pre-team level. They're just learning what it's all about, and we keep it simple, and so they don't do as much in level 1 as they do. Once you get to level 2, then it gets a little bit more, so on and so forth. So NGA, they will not go to Sweet Tea. Instead, they will go to Peach State Classic, which is in Perry, Georgia, because it's an NGA meet, and Sweet Tea is not offering NGAs. Okay, now, state meet. If they get a 32 all around in level 2, 3, or 4, it's the same for all of them. Actually, no, level 2, I think they only have to have a 29, actually. But we've never had anyone not qualify for state. Unless they literally we're skipping an entire event, and then at that point you can actually petition to get them in. You only have to get it one time. One time. One time. If we which, like I said, it's never really been a problem. We usually blow that out of the water, so I'm not worried about that. So just assume that your child is going to state level 2 and up. Okay. If it gets where I think it's going to be a problem, I'll talk to you and we'll do whatever we need to do. And I don't know where these state meets are going to be yet. They have not been released. I have no idea. Hopefully not too far. The good thing is we live fairly close to Atlanta, so usually most of them are somewhere between Buford and us. So they're usually somewhere in there. So something new this year. If NGA 3 and 4, if they go to state and they get a 33, they qualify for regionals. Regionals is in Knoxville, Tennessee, so still not too far away. Lots of fun. It is the weekend of May, 13th. I won't be able to go this year. No, not making a May 13th. It's the weekend of May 20th. Excuse me. My daughter's getting married that weekend, so I'm not going to go, and I'll have to send other coaches if they qualify, but I still want them to qualify, and I still want them to go. I just made this whole connection 2 weeks ago, and I was like, no! But, anyways,
Called Erin first.
I didn't even tell her. She's so stressed out. I'm not telling her that. I've already told her that, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do about extravaganza because that's also usually extravaganza weekend. So I'm probably going to have to back extravaganza weekend up to the 13th, 14th. I'm like, why did you pick May? It's fine. It's fine. Anyways, we have a lot going on. So that'll be good though. I think it'll be fun, fun meet and all that stuff. But heads up on all of that. Anybody have any questions about schedules? The actual schedule. Okay. All right, the part that you've been waiting for, the financial commitment. This is, first of all, there is a membership fee for being on the team. It's $50. They do get a t-shirt. But basically what this is you turning in all your paperwork and your $50 and saying, we are committed to this team. We are here to be on this team and be present this whole season. And this basically helps pay for all the extra work that goes into all of the paperwork of doing all the team stuff and signing up and all that. The individual competition fee deposits, and let me tell you why they're called that. This month, these things that you pay, so this $125 for 3 months that the level 1s pay, or the $150 that level 2s pay, or the $190. That money goes, you're paying that money into the gym, but that money goes right back out. This is not, these fees we don't keep. All those competitions we sign up for it's going towards those. So the way this is worked out and budgeted is I have a really cool spreadsheet that calculates this for me. Basically, I put in how much the competition costs, which there's an individual cost, there's a team cost, and you have to pay the coaches to go because we love your kids, but we're not going there for free. So, there's money to pay the coaches. If it's a travel meet, you're paying for the coaches' hotel, gas money, and food money. So that's all worked into these prices. Okay? So when we sign up for a competition, the money that you've paid in is how we pay for those competitions. And just for an example, level 1, you're going to 3 meets. You're only paying $125 3 times. Just the Sweet Tea Classic meet costs $125 to enter that meet. The other 2 meets are less, so that extra is just what you're paying the coaches to go to the meet or the team fee. So there's not a lot of extra worked into these. Okay? There's a little teeny tiny bit just in case we lose a kid or 2 so that we can still pay everything, but that's it. These everything that you're paying in is going right back out. So Level 1s don't have to start paying until October. They have October, November, December. Level 2s is September, October, November, December, January, February. And same for NGA 3 through, however, depends on if Gabby competes this year or not. So that's why it goes through stuff. So then, as far as regionals, if you qualify for regionals, that is not included in this. This is only through state. Okay. Regionals, it's $125 to register for regionals, and then there's going to be an extra fee depending on this extra amount here. All depends on how many kids qualify, how many coaches have to go, and that sort of thing, and that's what that fee, that extra is going to be based on. So we'll, when it comes closer to that, we'll revisit that, and I will send out an email and say, I need to know, and before state meet, I'll send out an email and say, I need to know you either commit or you don't commit to going to regionals if you qualify.
So you qualified at state.
You qualify at state. Yes. And you have to commit before. They make you commit before you go. So you have to commit, and then, and at that point, then everybody who makes it, then we take whatever expenses are incurred and we divide it by everybody who makes it. That makes sense? Okay. All right. Any questions about this part of it? Wow, you guys are easy. Okay, I'm going to get like 50 emails later. I know. Okay. Okay. If somebody starts in the middle of the season or something like that, we do prorate. So this doesn't really affect you guys, but if something does. We don't do refunds because a lot of that money, like I said, we have to prepay that stuff. Like the sweet tea one, as soon as you guys commit, I have to tell them how many are going to be there because that meet will fill up. Or the Smoky Mountain one, or the one in Perry, Georgia. Those big meets, if we don't pre-pay or pre-tell them, we lose our spot. So that happened last year with the Savannah meet because they ended up only doing one venue instead of two, so they took half the amount of kids, and I didn't get my stuff in time, and I was that half that got cut. So we have to get our stuff in time, period. So that's why it's important. As soon as everybody commits, that's why we start taking the money, and then boom, we turn everything in, and we go. Okay, expenses that are not covered under those fees that you're paying in or your tuition that you pay. Leotard. Level 1s. We do a sleeveless Leo, and the price went up on this year. And so it's going to be $95. Last year it was $85. And we actually, this is cutting it really close. I probably actually should have made it $100 with shipping and stuff, so I'm like sweating it a little bit. But hopefully we'll still be able to cover it. And then level 3, okay, so let me tell you, level 2s, since next year we're getting a new long sleeve leotard, we keep long sleeve leotard for 2 years. So that whenever you pay that $280 or whatever was $260 was last year's, we're going to keep that again for a second year so that you don't have to get another Leo. So I thought about this. There's no reason level 2s should get a long sleeve Leo when next year we're going to have to turn around and get another long sleeve Leo. So I'm going to let them keep their same Leo from last year and just use that one. If it doesn't fit, let me know. We'll get you another $95 one. I feel like that would be better than trying to
have a short sleeve one, and Macy will be in a long sleeve one now.
So you'll have one for sale. That's awesome. That is good to know. I actually was thinking about that because I have some other ones that have outgrown their long sleeve, and that if anybody needs it, so that you'll need one. So yeah, so we'll do like some kind of a. I'll figure that out next. We'll get to that next. Yeah. So I actually have the sizing leotards upstairs. They just came in yesterday, so I have to set up something to do that, and we can size for those. The warm-up, we usually keep the warm-up for like 4 years, and we just got a brand new one last year. We have a white, really cute jacket and some 3/4 leggings, all from GK at a decent price. So that is only, $125 for the whole thing, I think. Yeah. For the jacket and the pants, and the jacket is embroidered, so it has their name on it and it has the logo on the back. So we can get those sized also, which I have all the sizing stuff upstairs, and get those ordered pretty soon. Okay, so that's leotard warm-up. Does anybody have any questions about leotard or warm-up?
Unless there's level 1, we don't have to buy anything for this year.
Nope, you can keep the same one for level 2. Yep.
Can I just buy pants?
Yeah, you can buy just pants. Yeah, you can buy just pants. Yes, you can. Absolutely. Yep, for this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, AAU number. If your kid is going 1 or 2, they'll need an AAU number, which is $16. It also gives them insurance. So if they get hurt at the meet, you can actually, we've actually had kids turn this in. So you can have, it's basically secondary insurance. So whatever your insurance doesn't cover, it will cover. So if something happens. And then NGA is $35 for their. So, okay. And I'll give you guys more information about that when it comes time. I think the AAU one, I was able to register all the kids, so we just put the $16 charge on your account, and then you just pay it on your account. And I think NGA is going to be similar, but I actually don't know because I've never registered an NGA kid before, so I'll let you know as soon as I figure that out. I don't know if you have to do it individually or if I can do it. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know. Okay, when you go to a competition, a lot of times you have to pay to get in because that's how they pay for the venue. So just depends. When we host our meets, we only charge like $8 when we do it at our own facility. But if we do it in an outside facility, then you charge more because you're paying. So just depends on where it's at. The really big ones, like the one at Lake Point, will probably be what, 15? Anybody remember what it was before to get in at Sweet Tea? Anybody? No. Okay. I don't remember. $15, $20 probably. 12. I don't know. I really don't remember. But we had meets one time. We had one at World Congress Center. Well, pause. I think it's like 20 or 25 to get in. When the Athens one was too. Yeah, so depending on where it's at, it can be pricey. But the smaller the meet, the cheaper. That's why with level 1, it's good we stay as local and small as possible. Clinics and workshops. That's what I was talking about. Like anytime they can hop in a clinic or something like that. We also may do some where we bring coaches in from outside and do some stuff with them because it's always good for the kids to hear the same thing from another coach that you've been telling them so that they're like, oh, yeah, I forgot you told me that. In the summer, we have our camp. So some of you already have attended that. It's a lot of fun. The kids learn a lot. They get to really know gymnastics and what's expected of them. But we also have a lot of fun and get to know all the kids better. So that's really good. This year, we're actually starting something new. We're going to start some team building activities. And our first one I already emailed you about, which is the Backpack Buddies 5K. And if they don't want to do the 5K and they want to do the fun run, Coach Lane will probably go do that one with them. But either way, it's kind of cool for them to be able to go out into the community and represent their gym and their gymnastics, and it's fun. And it's great for us to all interact in a way that's not in the gym because, when we're in here, it's all business. It's boom, 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 boom. So we like to develop relationships with all the kids. I've been teaching for a really, really long time. So, a really, really long time. So I actually coached Rebecca when she was a kid. I think it was like 8 or 9 years old. So, but to me, when you're coaching a kid, and all of our coaches feel the same way, we really treat them like they're our own kids. Like, we love on them, we get to know them, and because we want them to be comfortable in this environment and feel safe here, and so that they can learn to their maximum potential. So, okay, end of the year banquet. We usually do some kind of little awards thing at the end, little, big. I don't know. We change it up every year. That's another fun kind of activity. And any kind of if we do travel, then you are responsible for your own travel expenses.
Not big.
Okay. If you have extra money in your account, which we're about to talk about fundraiser stuff. If you have extra money in your account, you can use it for those extra things a lot of times. So, not all the time, depends on what it is, but a lot of times you can. Okay, fundraising opportunities. We have monthly fundraisers. The cool thing about being part of Stingray is even though we're going to be in a different building, we're still going to do all of our fundraising together because the more things you sell, then the less you pay per item and the more money you make. So we're still going to put all of our fundraisers together. So like the sheets, I don't know if anybody participated in the sheets last year. That's usually a really big one. I don't know. We do all different things, and you should get an email about those on a regular basis. I'm going to actually ask her to add me to the email because I really don't know what's going on, and I don't like that. So I want to know so that I can make sure you guys, hey, did you see this fundraiser? And you got your information. But she'll have packets for us even when we go to the new gym. She'll have packets at the front desk over there. Hosted competition. The 2 competitions that we're hosting, you can work them and you can make money that way. But you can also make money by finding sponsors. So that was one of the emails that I've already sent out. And Leslie, I'll send that to you also, the sponsorship. Because that is a great way. Pretty sure Keisha's pretty much paid for her kids' whole year last year with sponsors. So,
I got one right here.
nice.
Sponsors or can like
No, so it actually is separated out. It says like corporate, business, and then friends and family. Okay. And friends and family says like I think it says like 100 to 250 or something. I mean, they really could do whatever they wanted. The corporate sponsor though, since we're going to be in our own gym and we have more of an opportunity to do this. If they do a corporate sponsor, we're going to actually hang a banner up of their business up in our gym. So, and then the next one down, the business one, they will have all of their stuff promoted at the competitions like we've always done with the little signs. And usually we have a way of announcing it or something like that. So last year that got a little bit messed up because my announcer at the last minute got COVID and then had to have somebody else. Like, so that didn't actually work out last year, but that's okay. Hopefully next year is going to be good. You can also work the extravaganza, which I'm going to need like all hands on deck this next year. And that's a good one to make extra money with that also. So if you don't know what the extravaganza, does everybody know what the extravaganza is? I think most of your kids have to the extravaganza. So that's where the class kids do performance. So I think most everybody here has had their kid there. Okay. Okay. So any kind of communication will come from cars.stingrayosters.com. That's if you get something from Janet, it usually comes from me. So that will be like paying your bill, general gym information. Okay. Anything team related is going to come most likely from me. May come from your individual coach. So it might come from Coach Elena or Coach Whitney. They had to get new emails. They didn't get a fancy Stingray All-Star email because they changed that and now we have to pay for those. So they got regular Gmail account emails, but that's okay. And then the band is, I try really, really hard to keep band up. And every once in a while I slide back a little bit, but I do try really hard to keep band up. And that's also, I'll post like anything extra we do. So if we have meetings or we are going to do the 5K or, whatever, I try to put everything on there so that you have everything gymnastics in one place. Okay, so that's a great way if you're not sure. You open up band, scroll down the days, and usually it'll say all team or like your left under the dates. Okay, and then our website right now is the carsville.stingrayallstars.com, which is now you guys saw how you switched everything over to your new portal, your parent portal. We're actually talking about starting a separate website for the new location. But I'll let you know when that happens. So, we're working on all that. Okay, I'm not going to read all this, but level 1 parents, probably want to go over all of this and look through this. If you have questions about how the competition actually works, that's what this is. So, and I am recording this, by the way, and I'm going to send out a link where you can go back and access it. Okay. So, meet specifics and how the meet works is there. Okay. Etiquette for gymnasts. We expect the kids to arrive 15 minutes before warm up. So if I send out an email and say warm up is at 6 o'clock, then I expect your kid to be there at 5:45. And this is why. A lot of these places, the kids walk in and they want to check everything out. So they're like, what's going on in here? They're looking at everything. I've had kids who come in, zooming in at the last minute. It's time to warm up. They sit down and they're like, what's going on? There's so much going on. Because there's teams warming up everywhere. There's parents over here. There's judges over here. There's score things. Like, they're trying to take it all in, and it's too much for them to take in and still concentrate on actually warming up. So, best thing to do, get there 15 minutes early, take it all in so that when it's time for them to come with us, they're good. Okay? When it is time for them to come with us, we're going to take them. And we're not going to give them back till after awards. And you're not allowed to come get them. You're not allowed to come and hand them waters or grab things from them or talk to them. Once they get there, they're in gym mode and, they're in meet mode, and they, we know what's best for them at that point. That's what we're trained to do. So we'll take over from there, and we will make sure that they have the best experience that they can. And at that point, when you do hand them over to us, please have their hair already done, their leotard already on, and ready to go. Okay. Going to awards. It is very important that no matter what your kid gets, you tell them, good job. We will talk to the kids also about not having a bad attitude up on the award stand and basically how they're supposed to act. We want to teach. This is a teaching moment for us to teach good sportsmanship and make sure that when they get up there, they accept what they got. Okay? Whatever happens at the meet is because of whatever training they put into it. It's nothing else. So you can't get mad at that point. So we will have conversations with the girls also, so that they understand that, you get up there and you accept your award and you be nice and congratulate. If somebody got higher than you, then you congratulate them and move on. We want to be courteous, respectful, polite. We have a pretty good history of having a good rapport out there. So we want to keep it that way. They can have a competition bag, and I don't have any preference on their bag. They don't necessarily have to have all matching bags, all that. It's great, and I love it, and it looks good, but that's up to y'all. So we do sell Stingray bags through the Pro Shop, so you can order those and get Stingray bags. But we have had some other parents who have just ordered and made some that they don't say Stingrays, they just have their name on them. We're not supposed to say Stingrays. Okay. Okay. Awards, you have to stay in awards until everybody is finished, unless the announcer tells you to leave, like for parking reasons or whatever. It's common courtesy to stay there and listen to all of the awards. It's not, it would be terrible if your kid was the last kid getting an award and everything. So think of it that way. We don't want that to happen. Other gyms don't want that to happen. So it's something that's actually talked about in the gymnastics community, that you stay there and you watch other kids get their awards before you. So, And I will say AU awards are the longest. I'm so sorry. Okay. So just be prepared for that. Oh, AU awards can last for a very long time. Okay. Okay, meet etiquette for parents. We love you to show team spirit and to wear your team colors or any kind of Stingray apparel. Make sure you show respect for officials and coaches. You cannot talk to a judge or an official at the meet. That's our job. We will do that. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask the coach after the meet. I'm going to touch on scoring real quick because I don't know if I actually have that right here. Scoring is definitely subjective per judge. Typically, though, if scores are low on vault that day, they're low on vault all day long for every kid, not just your kid. But just keep in mind that if you go to a meet, you could get an 8.5 at one meet and then go to the next meet and get a 7.9 and your kid just did the exact same vault. That is a judging discretion that we have no control of. The good thing is they do have things in place. They have head judges who keep an eye on these things. They have meetings about it. They have discussions. But we have no control over it, and there's nothing we can do. That is up to them. So when your kid gets a different score at a meet and still does the same exact routine, suck it up and move on. It's going to happen. I'm just saying, it is going to happen.
It bothers us much.
Yeah, we don't like it either, but there's nothing any of us can do. So just remember that it's very subjective. But it's also why a lot of times we don't push scores with our kids. We don't talk a lot about scores. We talk more about their skills and what they need and how to learn from any mistakes and that kind of thing. So we don't focus and dwell on their scores a lot. Obviously we praise them when they do really well or if they get, above and beyond, then obviously we're going to, what I was just trying to say. We're going to acknowledge that and celebrate that. That's what I was going to say. And we're going to celebrate that. But we're not going to dwell on it. Okay. All of these competitions are sanctioned, so there's usually either like a rope or a gate or something that separates the parents from the competition area. And technically, if you walk out onto the sanctioned floor and you're not a registered volunteer or coach or whatever, you can void the entire meet. So I've never actually seen that happen because usually they just go and give somebody a warning and blah, blah, blah. But let's just not do that, Jim. So let's not do that. Okay. Please do not coach your kids. That's what you pay for. Have a lot of parents in the past that have tried to coach their kids and bang on the window and tell them what they need to do. I promise you that we are well trained in that area. We spend countless hours training and looking up things and knowing what we need to do. And if you coach your kid, it's harder for you to be the parent. Okay? Then what happens if you turn into the coach, we are going to turn into the parent. And we're going to tell them what a wonderful job they're doing and to keep working hard. Because that has happened to me. I had a parent who kept coaching their kid and coaching their kid to the point where the kid literally was coming in frustrated and upset because they were so worried about disappointing their parents. We don't want that to happen. Okay? I need you to be there. I need you to be supportive to them. Tell them what an awesome job they're doing. Obviously, if we're having any specific problems, we'll come to you and we'll have a conversation with you about it. And then, you can interact and maybe give them some pointers on how to correct that, or give us, the coaches, or your kids. But please, please, please don't turn into the coach. So I don't say anything else about that. Okay. When you go to competitions, you cannot take flash photos. They will call you out from the microphone. Yeah, that's not what I was trying to say, but okay, that works. They will say, "Hey, you in the yellow shirt that just took a picture, don't." They will literally call you out because the flash is dangerous for the kids in their events. If they're on beam, bars, whatever, it's unsafe. So, yeah. So that's all. Okay. Okay. The Stingray's logo. There's actually a new one just came out, and I didn't cut and paste and put it in here. Even our gymnastics logo is all copyrighted. They have protected their brand, the Stingray brand, to all ends of the earth. So I thought we were going to be able to do our own stuff at the other gym, and I got an email. I said no. That was so sad. So, but I ordered some stuff, and hopefully it'll be in here before we get in the new building. And we are getting 50 car decals coming in so that we can actually, I've been asking for them for 2 years. I was so upset about this whole logo thing. They're like, "Yes, we'll get them into your meeting." So I said, "Thank you." So they're coming now, finally. So, but anyway, so we will have some pro shop stuff for you guys, and they do put out. Pay attention because these emails are going to come from Cartersville. The Cartersville email. Twice a year, you're going to get an email for parent apparel. That's it. You get 2 chances. If you miss that opportunity, you miss it. And I did not know this at first. Nobody told me. Nobody warned me. So I have learned over the last couple of years, if you miss that opportunity, you miss out, and you can only get what they stock regularly. But if you want something that they have with the gymnastics apparel, you have to order it when they send you that parent apparel email.
You know roughly when that is?
There should be one coming out very soon. They usually do one around this time of year. And then another one, and this one will be like winter apparel.
Yeah.
And then they'll do another one in the winter for summer apparel. Yeah. And that's it. Other than the stuff that I'm going to order specifically for the pro shop, and those will only be specific sizes and stuff. We'll have so many, and once they're gone, they're gone. Like, that's not a reorder type of situation. So, that makes sense? Any questions about that? Okay. We're almost done. Okay. Pages that you have to turn back in. The financial agreement, which is... Oops. Not that. Sorry. Somewhere. I have it here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Financial agreement. It's just saying that you're basically committed to the season and you understand everything that I just told you was going to be part of the fees.
So the fees you talked about is on top of what we pay monthly.
So you have your monthly tuition that pays for your practices in the gym. And then those extra, those are just the ones that come in that go back out. Yes. So that's that. Also, I did make these all fillable, so you should be able to fill these out and send them and save it and send it back to me. Hopefully. Unless you have some. Okay. Okay. The policies and expectations. A lot of this is stuff that I've already talked to you about, and it just breaks it down for you a little bit more for you to sign. First one, though, very, very important. If you have a problem with anything, please, 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 first go to your coach, okay? If your coach can't solve it or take care of it, then you come to me as the gymnastics director, okay? If I cannot take care of it, then you go to Andy, who is the owner of Stingray's Gymnastics, okay? Please do not go to each other with problems. That's not going to solve anything. Okay? Other parents can't solve the issues that you have with your coach or the gym or another gymnast or anything like that. Okay? So if you have an issue, please come to us and we will do our absolute best to take care of you. I have a very open door policy. I've never turned anybody down or told anybody that their problem wasn't important, because if it's important to you and your family and your child, then it's important to me. Okay? Okay. No profanity, use of language. It's really sad, but I do have to say this. Bad mouthing. Please don't bad mouth coaches, parents, children. Please don't go around and tell everybody that your kid is better than theirs. Or talk about other things going on in the gym. So, don't even talk about the cheerleaders. Like, oh my gosh, that kid shouldn't be in that class, or whatever. We have video cameras in the lobby, and they have sound, y'all. We hear some great things on there. Let me just tell you. Okay, and please keep in mind we're not a babysitting service. But with that being said, okay, obviously we don't want you to just expect us to be here if your kid needs to come in early or whatever. But if it is, hey, my other kid has to be somewhere at 3:30, and you have to have them here at 4 or whatever, and you're not going to be able to do both, let me know. If we're here, I don't mind every once in a while, you dropping your kid off, as long as I know. I just can't have random kids here for hours and I know they're here. So if I know and you give them something to do or something to, take their time and we can keep an eye on, that's not a big deal. I'd rather them do that than miss practice, if that makes sense. So, okay. Like basic stuff about teamwork and stuff like that, and being supportive of everybody. Please do not post negative comments on websites or social media. This straight up goes against our policies. This also goes for your children. As we are getting more and more into the information age, and they all have iPads and phones and all this stuff, make sure that they are not posting things that are negative. And so somewhere in here also, yeah, right next. Okay, the next one. It is up to you to monitor your child's social media and anything they do, texts, all that, okay? But sometimes people come to us and they say, like, there's 6 kids on the team and 5 kids have a group message and 1 is not a group. This is absolutely unacceptable. We're a team. We don't leave somebody out of a group text message. Okay. Also, if they're going to have a group team text message, I would prefer if there was an adult in the group message. Like I said, we can't tell you what to do and not to do with your kids on social media and with their cell phones. That's up to you. But we don't want to cause any bigger problems. So as they move up through the levels and they get really close, I just want to make sure that that you know up front what I accept. Okay. Okay. Sometimes practices can change during the season if something major happens or whatever. It doesn't really happen very often, but it can happen. So I am a parent, and I know I have 3 kids, and I know that you don't want a schedule change the day before. I know that, so I'm not gonna do that unless it's an absolute emergency. I will try to give you plenty ahead of time to figure out rides and all that. So I just so you know, it could change, but I will try my best to give you plenty of heads up. Okay. Oh, I forgot. So as far as cell phones and iPads in practice, they are not allowed to get them out from the time practice starts to the time practice ends, unless the coaches ask them to. An example might be, hey, go get your phone so you can record yourself doing this skill, and you can, watch yourself and make corrections or something like that. Other than that, we do not want them to have any devices. And I'm talking about break time, anything. It gets put away. And if we see it out, there's a good chance we'll take it away until the end of practice. So, just giving that little heads up right now. Anybody threatening to quit or pull their child from team will be dismissed from the program. If you want to do private lessons, we have opportunities for you to do private lessons through us. Please don't go outside of our facility because there are certain techniques that are different in different gyms, and it might confuse your child. So some people do a hurdle into a round off, and some people sashaying into a round off. So if they're going and learning different things, different people, it might be confusing. Okay, valuables, please do not let them bring valuables and jewelry. Would not believe the amount of necklaces and eye watches that get left. So please don't do that. Okay, it's up to you to keep up with communication. Only gymnast coaches allowed in the gym. And at the new gym, it's all one floor. So there's no stairs or hidden rooms. So everything is out. Well, there is kind of a hidden room because around the corner is the birthday party room. But there's 3 big, 4x7 windows for you to see out into the entire gym. So the parent lobby is actually twice the size of that room. Plenty of room. Where do we get? Oh, you don't want to go there right now. You don't want to go there right now. It is full of concrete dust and disgustingness right now. You do not want to go there. As soon as it starts getting a little bit, yeah. Then, when it gets a little closer to that point, I'm actually going to ask for parent volunteers to come help. And we're going to have to do some cleaning and setting up and building and stuff. But it gets to that point, I'll let y'all know. So I'm just trying to touch on the ones we haven't already touched on. Please do not withhold your child from practice as a form of punishment. And the reason I'm asking that is because that doesn't just punish the gymnasts. Now you're punishing us coaches and the other gymnasts. Because remember when I said that sometimes we'll explain a specific technique or drill? Because then when your kid misses and then they come back, now we have to take time out from everybody else to explain it to the kid. And it's just, overall, it's not helping us here. And I understand that you need to have things, but this should be the last resort. Okay? Okay. Let's see. I already told you that. No arguing and questioning of coaching staff's decisions, especially at competitions. If you have questions, just ask us afterwards so that you can understand what we did and why we did it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, just remember that you're representing the gym when you're at competitions. For your kids, obviously, no profanity, abusive language, no cyberbullying, coaches or teammates at the gym is allowed or tolerated. No gossip about a child on your team or another team. No gossip about coaches and staff. It's much better to address the problem. No cell phones, iPads, or electronic devices. Your kids are role models in the gym. So even our 5 and 6-year-olds that are on level 1, the class kids are going to look up to them. because they're on team. And so they have to remember that at all times they're role models, whether they realize it or not. And so that's something that we also, as coaches, make sure that they understand. But they need to, by being a good role model, make sure that they have a positive attitude, that they're showing respect to all the coaches and to their fellow gymnasts. Okay, this part is new this year. If these policies are broken, number 1, you'll get a verbal warning. 2, if it happens again, you'll get a 1-week suspension. And then if it happens again, you'll be asked to leave the gym. And in the past, we never had like a written, like if something happens, what are your consequences? So this way we have something we can back up if there's a problem. And hopefully we won't have any problems. But we just need to have that out there just in case. And then you sign it, and that one is done. And the new address is right there, in case you need to see that. The All-Star roster, this is just for basic information. And sometimes we do things as a team, and we need some specific information. And I might have like a parent helping me or something, and I might share that like for specific reasons. Like, here's everybody's sizes, or here's everybody on your team's email. Can you please start an email thread for this, or a text thread for this, or something like that. So sometimes I share it with a specific parent to just for communication purposes. Okay. That is that. Does anybody have any questions about these forms that need to be filled out?
All of these are on fan.
No, these are all in your email. I sent these today with the schedule, with the competition schedule. So, not actually that. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Whew, I don't know, 15 minutes. Lots of water. I can already go on 30. I try to make it quicker every year, and it always ends up longer. I'm so sorry. It's a lot of information, though. It's a lot of information. So. Nobody? Anybody? Elena, anything you need to add, Coach Elena? No. So we all have spent a lot of time, preparing and growing as coaches for your kids, and we're excited about the season. So is Coach Whitney. But yeah, we're pretty excited, and getting ready to move into the new building is exciting, and I think it's going to be a great season. So we have a lot of amazing talent coming through right now, and so it's fun.
I do have one question.
Yes.
So are the times that they change ours at first, or ours is like and they start for and it's 4 to 5:30.
Yes.
So is that going to be the same all year long?
That's it. As far as I know right now, yes. Unless something major changes and I have to uproot the entire schedule. But right now, yes, that's planning on staying.
When it starts in school, so I'm going to have to do some joke.
Gotcha. I understand that. Yeah, I have a 10-year-old, and I'm here all night, so it's fun when he wants to do basketball. Okay. I've had to enlist some of my favorite parents here to help me. And pay lots of babysitters. That's been great. Does it anything? This new, maybe so. Oh, hopefully the new building will be done in the next 4 to 6 weeks. It already has the lobby is already being apparently today Andy went there and it has drywall up. Woo-hoo! But there's still a lot of work to do. And then in about 3 weeks, the new air conditioning should be going in. And we can't really lay any equipment out until that's in because they have to bring those big scissor lifts in because we're getting the same units that we have in here put in. So that and having there's apparently some new rule or law in the city, and we have, because we're the type of facility we are, we have to have pool fire things at every emergency exit, and I just know some kid's gonna pull it. So I've never had one of those in a gym I've worked in before, so I'm like, oh great. I'm really nervous about that.
Pastor Everett said that you have to interpret the sound to save yourself.
I don't think that would pass the fire.
When they come to
So they should know not to pull it.
I hope so, yeah. I hope so.
Because we
But
have
I mean, we have 2 and 3-year-olds, like,
now that.
and yeah. So we'll see. We are gonna have a rock climbing wall, so pretty excited about that. We're gonna have a rock climbing wall that's like 12 foot high and I think like 16 feet long or something like that. We have a whole ninja setup that is already sitting in the gym, ready to be put up.
Do you have an age limit for the points for the ninja class?
It is, I think 4 to 11. It's boys and girls.
Okay, I have a stepson and he's 12.
Gosh.
He's like gigantic. He's a gigantic little girl. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, I think like through 5th. Yeah. That's what the program is designed.
He's always jealous.
Well, we're going to do more kids' night outs over there, so you can come to kids' night outs. We already have a tumble track in the gym and a rod floor. They're just not set up yet. We have a whole spring floor already sitting in there. Everything's just stacked in there, ready to go. getting concrete dust on my ready. Fine. I walked in there, I was like, what is going on? Very stressful. Fine.
It's not great.
It's gonna be great. That's it. That's all I have. Thank you so much, guys. Let me know if you have any questions.
I just wanted to meet you.
Yeah. Let me stop this real quick. Hold on.
She hasn't actually